When a person thinks deeply and seriously, he has a bad time among the general public. The mind is everything, what you think you become. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. If you can dream it, you can do it. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference, that you have lived and lived well. Talent is formed in silence, character, and stormy disturbances of light. The unexamined life is not worth living. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. Give a man a purpose worth living for, and he can survive in any situation. To be pleased with one's limits is a wretched state. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Too many parents make life hard for their children by trying to zealously to make it easy for them. You can't wait for inspiration. You have to go out and get it. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. We all live upon the past, and through the past, we are destroyed. Correction does much, but encouragement does more. If you knew how rarely we are understood correctly, you would be silent more often. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. He who moves not forward goes backward. Everything is hard before it is easy. If each of us sweeps right under our feet, the whole world will be clean. Mountains cannot be surmounted except by winding paths. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. Those who stop loving and making mistakes have buried themselves alive. What is not started today is never finished tomorrow. Doubts can only be removed by action. You can easily judge a man's character by how he treats those who can do nothing for him. The best revenge is massive success. A person lives a real life if he's happy with someone else's happiness. Catch a good mood, it so rarely visits us. Man's manners are a mirror in which his portrait is reflected. Whoever wishes to keep a secret must hide the fact that he possesses one. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Go to foreign countries and you will get to know the good things one possesses at home. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. Get your facts first, then you can distort them as you please. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails. Explore, dream, discover. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Love is an ideal thing. Marriage, a real thing. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. One always has enough time if one applies it well. The secret of being happy is accepting where you are in life and making the most out of every day. A creation of importance can only be produced when its author isolates himself. It is a child of solitude. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra. A life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives. Nothing shows a man's character more than what he laughs at. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. The best revenge is massive success. Device, divide, and conquer is a wise rule, but unite and lead is even better. There are people who never make mistakes because they don't want to do it. We know accurately only when we know little with knowledge. Doubt increases. Everybody wants to be somebody, but nobody wants to grow. No one knows what his powers are until he uses them. The question isn't who will let me, it's who will stop me. It is better to make an approximately correct decision than a precise mistake. The most ridiculous desire is the desire to please everybody. As soon as you trust yourself, you will know how to live. The greatest thing in this world is not so much where we stand as in what direction we are moving. Art is the mediator of what cannot be said. We are all faced with a series of great opportunities brilliantly disguised as impossible situations. The only true wealth is time. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. There was more to hopeless slavery than the slavery of those slaves who consider themselves free from fetters. For a man to achieve all that is demanded of him, he must regard himself as greater than he is. True greatness begins with understanding your own and significance. The way you see people is the way you treat them, and the way you treat them is what they become. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. The key to success is failure. An intelligent person is not the one who knows a lot, but the one who knows himself. The best government is that which teaches us to govern ourselves. Ingratitude is a kind of weakness. Outstanding people are never ungrateful. Of all the thieves, idiots are the most harmful. They steal our time and mood from us. The longer you live alone, the less the crowd appeals, the less you need others to fill the silence. The more you find peace and solitude to whispers. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. I can tell you, honest friend, what to believe. Believe life. It teaches better than a book or orator. Woman screams loudly during sex when the pain goes too far inside or goes in the wrong direction. The secret of being happy is accepting where you are in life and making the most out of every day. Our friends show us what we can do. Our enemies teach us what we must do. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. Many people take no care of their money until they come near the end of it, and others do the same with their time. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. The mind is everything. What you think you become. Nothing is worth more than this day. Everyone hears only what he understands. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Destiny grants us our wishes, but in its own way, in order to give us something beyond our wishes. The greatest evil that can befall man is that he should come to think ill of himself. Do not give in too much to feelings. An overly sensitive heart is an unhappy possession on this shaky earth. It is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. Talent is formed in silence, character, and stormy disturbances of light. The unexamined life is not worth living. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. Give a man a purpose worth living for, and he can survive in any situation. To be pleased with one's limits is a wretched state. If you treat an individual as he is, he will remain how he is. But if you treat him as if he were what he ought to be and could be, he will become what he ought to be and could be.